Dr. Nick Raz, I'm talking to you about posterior chain activation. So this is a really powerful exercise. If you do this consistently, your posterior chain starts right about here, goes all the way down, posterior to the backside, all the way connective tissue to the bottoms of your feet. Okay, so it's very weak in our culture. Too much of this, not enough of this. So deadlift is something that really strengthens your posterior chain. This is a simple exercise. Actually, one of my classmates, Dr. Eric Goodman, wrote a whole book series on this called The Foundation Training. Awesome stuff. You should check it out. But ultimately, the short version that we're going to do in here for posterior chain, give you an example here. You're going to squeeze your butt. You're going to tighten your abs. Really important here to hinge. Actually got this from Dr. Eric. Is hinging at the hips, keeping this so that your fingers don't get closer, they don't get further apart. So if you have a point on your ribs, point on your hips, and you hinge, they should stay static. This means I'm flexing my spine. This means I'm extending my spine, or an extension fault. So squeeze, squeeze, then hinge at the hips. You really only need to go to about 45 degrees. 10's fine. Most importantly is your spine stays straight. You're turning on your glutes. They should be nice and hard. Abs should be really tight, safe. And you can start with your arms in the stick 'em up position here. And you can go up and up. And the further you go up, the harder it is. Because you don't want to hyperextend. You don't want to flex. You want to stay solid right there. Weights in your heels. The goal is to get down to like 45 degrees or more. Like this, with our arms parallel, straight out in front of us. Like this, weights in the heels, everything's strong, you can feel it in your butt, back, posture's good, and you can hold this for up to 2 minutes. Okay, but this is a great place to start, working our way this far. Posterior chain activation, usually we ask you to go for 2 minutes, but max it. So start today, you might start shaking, feel like your form is going to break, and just cut it, stop. See what you made. You might have made it 45 seconds. You might have made it 10 seconds. But build from that until you're hitting 2 minutes. Posterior chain activation.